Ja? Kan het tasty?
Welcome to today's match of the round, coming to you from Tanunda Oval. This is Tanunda hosting Freeling, traditional Barossa and Light matchup between two teams probably not expected to play finals, but still looking forward to a really tight contest today. Joining me, I've got Dan Eggleton, former president of the Tanunda Football Club. How are you, Dan?
I'm going well, Teeks. It's fantastic to be back here, and it's nice not to have it. The rain coming in sideways, minus 74, and the ground, I say, is given it's had a fair bit of footy played on it. Looks like it's in pretty good nick.
And given the amount of rain in the last 7 days, it is in very good condition. Players will be on top of the ground. It's windy, but apart from that, the weather is perfect for football. We've just witnessed Tanunda take out a B-grade win in what was a milestone game. One of the club legends, Ryan Bignell, playing game number 300.
Absolutely brilliant. A great servant of the Tanunda Footy Club and the broader community. Obviously did a little stint down in town and returned for the 08 to 11 premiership run, but has the wonderful stats of having 10 premierships.
Yes, and has won at all grades.
At all grades.
He's contributed no matter where he's played. He is an ultimate team player, one of the true class acts of the Tanunda Footy Club.
Hard nut. There was a lot of commentary this week in the social media, in the local papers about the skills of the guy, but also he was a force to be reckoned with when he was at his absolute highest powers. So
I would go so far as to say that his skills weren't his highlight. It was his determination to get the ball.
Absolutely.
Was more value than his actual skill. He was skillful the way he delivered the footy, but his want for the ball is something that is immeasurable.
Tireless.
His willingness to put his head over that football and be the first one to it won Tanunda a lot of games of football.
Oh, and it was a key element in those glory years. But at the same stage, probably should have picked up a couple of individual honours during that period that never came his way.
Yes, one of those players that probably didn't do the fancy highlight things that a lot of people notice, but true football observers can see what's happening at the bottom of the contest. Turning to the A-grade game today, it's going to be a really close matchup. Tanunda have struggled during the year. They've been a little bit undermanned, but there's some youth in the team that has a lot of people excited for the future.
Absolutely.
Couple of players. Last week I thought Thomas Hahn's first quarter, his first half, but the first quarter in particular, was exceptional. And he was the best player on the ground for the first quarter last week at Williston.
I suppose one quarter doesn't win you a game, but it's great to see these kids coming through, and there's obviously a lot of talent there, and Sam Cahoon's really trying to nurture that and grow it and create a bit of a longer vision from what I understand. I will declare and be honest that this is only my second game of football this year due to work commitments, a very long vintage, and having to be interstate a lot. I just haven't made it back, but it's going to be good, and I do believe that two fairly evenly matched sides, and we're hoping for a really high quality contest today.
I think it will be a really tight game today. I'm expecting to see a really tight contest. I think Freeling would give themselves a chance in this. They have been playing some good football during the year. Haven't quite got the results they've wanted, but they have got the potential to push Tanunda all the way.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of experience out there, and blokes like Adam Koshel don't get any smaller as the day goes on, and you got Sammy Carmichael, who's looking fit as a fiddle, ready to go. He's probably had a dozen eggs and a kilo or two of bacon this morning for breakfast, and they've always been really good tussles here with the legs and with the Magpies.
And those two players you mentioned, Koshel and Carmichael, really will pose a problem for Tanunda, who are lacking for size.
They are. They're a much smaller side, and it's going to be interesting. And of course, it makes you wonder why Scotty Dutchke is still playing. But he's been a wonderful servant for that club since he went over there, and lives in Tanunda and played a lot here, and it's a home to him. But what he's done for Freeling's been fantastic for many years.
He's done a lot for that footy club, and he is there just adding a hard edge to a young team. Young players struggle at the bottom of the pack midwinter against seasoned bodies, and he's there to make sure that they're not going up against giants.
No, indeed. Well, I think it's going to be really good to watch. I'm excited to see what the young trainer can really hit his straps today and kick a bag. He's been a bit of a target for him since coming over from Barossa Districts, and I think settled in. He's had a couple of really good runs though, where he's kicked some 4s and 5s.
Yes,
I think,
he's had some very good. He's been Tanunda's best forward for the year easily. Probably their only genuine target in attack, and that's been Tanunda's downfall often. They don't have a true avenue to goal. It's sort of, they have to manufacture it by chance. And that's something that they lack. Also speed. Freeling, with their younger players, have got the opportunity to cut Tanunda up on the outside.
Yeah, well, look at it. You've got young Porter. You got speed in Jack May, Finn Manning, Hamish Martin, and Aaron Manning. These guys are all got a bit of leg speed to them, and Josh Hokeless isn't slow.
No, he's not.
And he's a hard little ranger, I think.
He's an impressive little player.
Absolutely.
I really like him.
Yep. So
he's shown me a lot in the few senior games that he's played. I think he is a genuine star of the future. He's a future premiership player at Tanunda.
I believe so. I believe they're building up to something really good here, and there's a lot of kids coming through, and there's good results in the lower grades. So,
and then there's the next tier of players who are young but have experience, like Trent Gers, who I thought was excellent last week in a losing effort.
Hearing his captaincy's been outstanding too. A new dad, and
he's become a very good leader and matured a lot from the Trent we knew as a young fella.
Absolutely.
His cricket leadership is second to none.
And we're up here with
his new dad. I think Ivy is apparently in attendance today with his mum, Chloe. Her mum, Chloe.
That's it.
So great to see, and
we're
great
underway,
to see them growing. Here we
That's
go.
it. So we've got a free kick going to Dutchke.
Oh, Dutchke, sorry.
Straight out the middle.
Of the pack. He kicks long.
Into the forward line. That's a really good mark there by Wesley.
He's got the chance to kick deep. Goes for a shallow entry. He's found the target.
That's a really good mark in these conditions in the forward pocket there. I hope you replace his divot. I can't honestly tell you who that is. Is it Benny Heinrich playing in deep forward?
Could be.
Again, another fearless leader.
That's what Mum said.
Tight angle. Giving that a really good ride, just across the face for a minor score.
Just behind the stick with that one. So Freeling would be kicking with what would be a 5 or 6 goal win, I reckon.
It is an absolute monster of a win. It's a beautiful pickup off the ground there. Freeling just shuffling the ball around. Working it by hand around the contest. One too many, perhaps. Tanunda have broken that up and holding the ball. Umpire was perfectly positioned for that.
Holding the ball against Freeling. No. Holding the ball against Freeling is going to a Tanunda player. That looks like young Thomas Hahn. Another one of those mullet type get-ups.
It's an interesting get-up.
There's a very good mark out there on the wing there.
Couldn't quite see who that was.
Tanunda moving it forward down into the centre forward. Deep
high
in the
ball.
forward lines.
Looks like there's a free kick being paid going the way of Freeling.
Against Greenslade there with that one.
Just a push out as the ball was coming in.
And there's a bit of descent by the looks on the 25 metres.
It's good to see the umpires getting on top of that at the start of the game. Just setting a tone that they won't put up with.
That's it.
That's a big kick into the forward line for Freeling. Straight over the back of the pack. That's a nice pick
That's
up.
young Martin. Looked like you got leg there. There's a bit of a tackle below the knees there, but Tanunda's having to really scrap a bit of defence in this.
Good tap one for Tanunda.
Yep. And there's a bit of a stalemate there.
Ball up straight away. A lot of players in the forward 50 for Tanunda. Probably most of the players on the field in the forward 50. A lot of players around the ball, so it's going to be very hard to work it out for either team. And we'll see a repeat ball up once again in almost the same place.
Got some experience in the umpires here with Johnny McGann and Matt Patterson taking the reins.
It's a big tackle there.
It's a heavy tackle, that one.
Tanunda player had no chance to get out of that.
It's young Hamish Martin tackling Scott Dutchke. There's a difference in age and context, isn't it?
Yes. But Hamish Martin's been very impressive in the games I've seen.
Absolutely.
And we'll see a repeat ball up once again.
Last year's under-17s male medalist,
Yes.
association medalist, I believe. So.
Yes, and I think he's got a huge future. He's got the willingness to do the hard work. The ball comes out the back. Tanunda, that left leg kick just chips out, well cut off in the middle of the ground for Freeling.
Young Guilfoyle there, misdirected kick. That's
kick.
a bad kick into the 50.
So chopped off for Tanunda.
That's young Diesel there.
He's gone.
Good clearing ball out to Guilfoyle out in the halfback flank.
Good kick.
And
that's a good mark taken by Hahn. That full stretch.
Presenting up well on that wing.
That's a low kick. Gave his teammate every opportunity. They've played on now.
And Hahn again with a long kick into the 50.
That bounce actually
Trainer went
probably
past the
worked
ball
for
a bit.
Tanunda.
Yeah. Trainer again.
Now.
That's high.
He's been given a free kick. He was grabbed without the footy.
Over the shoulder. And as we see, is it the Ray White replay here? A good long kick into the forward line. And then attack on the ball by Trainer. He gets his head over the ball and a bit of a clumsy sort of an effort.
The Ray White, Craig Moore replay.
That's it. Very good.
So we'll have the first set shot of the day for the Tanunda side. Trainer coming in. And he's
through the ball.
Through.
That's a good solid start.
That is a really good start for Tanunda and a good sign for Trainer to get one on the board early.
Give rid of that confidence.
His confidence, a world of good. He'll need to kick 4 or 5 today for the Pies.
You'd think that'd be a minimum today in these conditions. It's a good seeing day. It's nice and dry. There is a bit of wind around, but there's an opportunity here for somebody, if they really get hold of it and play the strengths, to grab a bag, I think.
And no real key full back for Freeling. Probably a good chance for him there to take advantage of a lesser opposition.
He's a strong lad, so he's got plenty of opportunity there to stamp his
umpire
authority.
again in the middle now. A little bit slippery in the ruck circle. Koshel sort of nullified that contest. Wraps the Tanunda player up immediately.
Foyt's surprisingly strong against a ruck of Koshel's strengths and size, but he's doing all right.
That was a good pickup and taken high.
Looks like young Jack May, that one there, is it?
Yep.
Number
yep.
29.
Free kick. It's a sloppy tackle from Koshel.
And
he plays on straight away.
Very clever young man.
That's a good kick.
Ashton Steiner spills that one.
But he's straight back up and into the action.
No, Sam Brooks there playing deep in the forwards. And Darcy Thompson getting bundled over the line. He's a clever young fella. He's going to lie on the ball as long as he can.
Oh, he didn't have a lot of choice.
No.
He was being pushed down upon it.
By somebody that weighs 3 times more than him.
And a kick in here for Freeling. They come down the grandstand
she's
side.
a mongrel helicopter finger breaking punt, that one. Quick kick in. Westhoff to spoil. Koshel grabs the ball roving style.
That's a good mark taken.
Oh, and they're out here. Freeling Redlegs have got every opportunity ahead of them.
That bounce really eluded him. He was dived upon, almost a free kick.
John O'Ross's work there was pretty good. He probably didn't do enough with the handball.
No, the
to help
handball
his
was
teammate.
probably a little bit hopeful.
Yes. Ball's up again. Nobody contests it. We've got a shrug tackle there. Gers is surrounding it, and it stacks on the mill. Young Harry Porter at the bottom, like his old man used to be. That's a great ruck tap and really good hands there. And Gers clears. Good attack on the ball. Courageous from Steiner.
You don't expect much less from a Steiner, but Ashton's really been impressive so far this season.
Again, part of that maturation, I'd say, he's had plenty of opportunity and
probably
he's
his
going
third
into his
season
body.
of senior footy.
Yeah. Boyd and Koshel, that's a really good tap there.
Into space.
And again, Porter getting knocked off the ball a little bit, but they're Freeling have got a really tight tag on Sam Cahoon, we notice. Bloke out there with a real dirty sort of porn moustache type setup. Big Coey there just shepherding, and there he goes, just muscles his way out.
Too strong. Heinrich under the bowl, couldn't quite get it with
Cahoon out to Gers on to Martin, and the bounce again. Bailey Smith missed that one.
Any Heinrich there, strong in the tackle.
Well done,
that would give that handball off, but a good smother from Gers.
Fast ball out, deep into the forwards.
And a beautiful clean-up from Westhoff, who was cleaned up after he kicked
Absolutely
it. That
dropped.
was
That's
late.
late.
That was dirty, in my opinion.
It was uncalled for.
Probably lucky not to do any damage.
Looking at the replay here, you can see that he's been bundled off well off the ball. So
ball going forward now for Tanunda. Strong mark taken at half back. Looks like it's Travis Muster.
Greenslade screaming for the play on, gone well off the line.
And that's a good mark taken there.
By Austin
into the
Bolton,
middle of the ground. And Lockie Heinrich, he's running through the middle and he goes deep. He's got a target. Misses that. Tanunda players wrapped up with the footy, so we'll have a ball up deep in the Freeling forward line.
You can tell the wind is playing merry hell with that, because Ross didn't have a hope at all in getting to that mark. No. Swirling around.
So a ball up probably 20 metres in front of Freeling's goal. Good tap down from Voigt. And well worked out by hand by Freeling, but they've got nowhere to go. And Tanunda now just looking to mop up.
Get it
happy to nullify with the boundary throw-in. The old boundary line is your friend. And the ball on the outer side now. More in tight. That ball kicked straight up in the air. Players under it. Happy to spoil it for a boundary throw-in. That's better. And another boundary throw-in. Voigt gets his hand to that, knocks it down. And that quick clearing kick comes out. Beautiful pick up.
Young Thompson's missed that up a bit. Couldn't get it above his bootlaces, unfortunately.
But desperation play from Tanunda, just not letting Freeling get any open air. That ball coming out now, down the wing. That's a good intercept mark. Koshel playing, just drifting behind the play. He's got a player on in the middle, overshoots him.
Sam Tyler just goes straight over the top. There's a quick hands off there, but didn't get picked up. Yeah. And again, we've got a
missed opportunity for Freeling. That kick from Koshel really missed the target. If they got that, they were out. Another ball up. Ross forced through the ruckwork this time. Great hands for Tanunda. They've got it on the outside.
Make their way into the forward 50.
Calhoun moving the ball.
There's an attack on the player there. There might be a free kick. No. Looked like young Steiner had a saddle put on him and was being ridden into the ground by the fullback. So
Calhoun broke away from that contest in the middle beautifully.
All I can say, Teeks, is that in April next year when they're calling AFL from here, it'll look fantastic, won't it?
It would be a great outcome for the Barossa Light and Gawler and for Tanunda.
Very low. As long as everybody can hear us on the telecast, we're just having a bit of technical difficulties. The view of the greater Barossa into the background and the grandstand on the western side of the oval works out really well, but we're really hopeful that we can make this happen.
Yes, massive developments happening here at Tanunda and looking great so far.
It's going to be fantastic. Fantastic sight once it's all done.
Oh, and Tanunda president coming through with the goods. He is a good man. Very nice work, Kim Underwood. Thank you. And some of the Baross's finest product just arriving at our possession. Also a shout out to one of the Tanunda faithful, Ralph BLG, celebrating a birthday today.
Yeah, he'd have to be, what, 75? 75
at
or
least
80 at least?
75.
I think it's...
Oh, he's a great umpire consultant. As we have the ball down in Tanunda's forward line at the moment. Just looking to settle things down. And set shot coming for the Pies. And Thomas Hahn. Distance shouldn't be an issue. The wind has caught that and taken it off to the right.
Absolutely stalled it mid-flight.
Yes, looked good off the boot, and then that gale got hold of it. But Hahn, just like last week, picking up plenty of the footy early. He's got a beautiful clean attack on it as well.
He's a class act. There's young Rothy there, number 50, young Ariel Rothy, another one of these talented kids that I think running around down in the under-18s there at Central Districts as well. As Hokeless picks it up, gives it to Greenslade. Greenslade gets the ball quickly in. Lockie Earl overran the ball a bit there, and then Tommy Hahn's just laid a beautiful tackle on Sam Tyler. And we've got another ball up, and I think that's going to be the story of the day today, Tees. We're going to see a lot of ball up sort of activity.
Again, we see another big tackle laid. Both these teams are good tackling sides, and that's what we're seeing highlighted at the moment.
Mitchell Lovell hit the ball flat out there. Young Steiner up against the Man Mountain Coast Shell.
That's big fly.
Attack
no
on the
mark
ball.
taken.
Gers very clean with his hands out to his co-captain Smith, and a long booming punt kick into the deep forward.
It's well picked
Well
up.
picked up.
But what a
He
tackle
hasn't got
from young
rid of the
Porter.
ball. I would have thought that would have been gone, and Sammy Dash was very lucky to get away with that.
Young Porter with a brilliant tackle there. I don't know how he managed to keep his feet. But yes, Trent Gers really standing up for the Magpies at the moment around the stoppages. He's got strength around the ball.
Quick hands, a lot of boxing work going on with that, and speed at the ball, speed with the hands,
And nappy changing.
nappy changing, dodging the pin. It's very, very tricky stuff, that.
Do they use pins these days?
I wouldn't have a clue. It's been that long since I've had to worry about it, mate. I really don't care.
Ball coming deep into the
That's
middle of the
a
ground.
great mark by
That's
Guilfoy.
Guilfoy out-bodying the much bigger Jonathan Ross.
With a wonderful kick down there to young Hahn. And a beautiful stab pass then straight to Greenslade.
That was a perfect kick.
That is excellent.
Greenslade's got the ball. He's just out. We'll be kicking from
He'll be out of
outside
range,
50. So he goes for the short pass. That's chopped off by Jonathan Ross. So he'll be able to clear the defensive area.
Didn't give his forwards any opportunity then, Greenslade, with that kick.
And it was a letdown after the perfect pass from Hahn to hit him up. He didn't repay the favour.
Absolutely. It's a long ball down the wing.
And that ball gets out the back with Freeling R.
Westhoff attacking.
Westhoff just sweats off. Forces that handball out. Freeling now with the chance. That kick comes in
Wesley.
shallow into the 50.
Hokeless over the back of the defender, the attacker for Freeling.
Freeling player taken to ground.
That looked like Scott Dutchley again at the bottom of the pack there.
Bailey Smith with another saving tackle. Ball up. And
No Freeling ruck in that contest.
ball comes out. No one able to take it cleanly.
Young Martin over to Rothy. Rothy
Just
with,
turns and burns the kick.
Burn the kick a bit, but he's backing it up now. He's getting there, and he's got to hold
He's
his place
tackled
now.
immediately.
Good strength.
This is better from Tanunda. I like it when they take the game on and try and move the ball with speed. They've got good foot skills and they can do that. Last week they looked a little hesitant and allowed Williston to set the tone.
Those bigger bodies, a bit more experience down there. Massive oval too.
Yes.
And Williston do play that very well. As the ball goes out for a ball up, a throw in with an exceedingly young boundary umpire out there. Hopefully he can get a good throw in on that. That's not too bad, young fella. Quick kick out by Tanunda, a spiral punt. contest.
Worcester under the ball, couldn't take
Rothy nearly with the brilliant pick-up on the run, and he's back at it again, the young fella.
He's doing everything out on that wing at the moment.
Steiner attacking the ball here, getting it forward, and
Freeling looking to mop up by hand.
Repelling.
They've got a chance to be out here. That ball probably was between two players. He could have hit either of them, but that kick goes deep forward looking for Heinrich. Just overshoots him.
Smith with steady hands.
And finds Benny Schiller.
The bearded Benny Schiller with an overcooked the handball. And Gers to mop up.
And that's a throw.
That is absolutely a throw.
That was a volleyball throw, definitely.
Brett Dowse worked very hard then to make sure he didn't lose contest with that.
That's a good short kick.
Jack made. That's not a good kick. Good attack by Dowse again, getting the hands up. Oh, he's let it go.
Kicked it into his teammate's shin.
Yeah, that's never going to be a
attack
good
on the
thing.
ball there. That's Harvey McDonald. He picked that up beautifully.
There's a free kick there to young McDonald.
He's got a chance to send this ball quite deep. He's got leads on. He ignores those. Looks for the deepest option. But again, Tanunda able to shut that down.
Ross with the ball up. That's a quick snap on goal
Snap
by
around the
Freeling.
corner and just offline. That was Nick Hales, his second year at Freeling. But yes, disappointing work there. They're kicking to the one-on-one, but Tanunda are able to shut that down. In this windy conditions, the defender is
Jack
favoured.
May is off and running. He's got to use the ball a bit better. Got taken out a little bit late on that one, I think.
That was well defended for Freeling.
Cahoon
Jared
with the ball.
Hales.
And a strong tackle there. Has been deemed too high or dangerous on young Hahn by Scotty Dutski.
Scotty will be incredulous. He's been laying tackles his whole life. He doesn't know what a dangerous tackle is. Because he's copped plenty.
Oh, absolutely.
Tanunda with the ball in the middle of the field now. May kicks out wide.
Guilfoy is going to do
Space.
some work
Guilfoy's
here.
got a job to do now.
Big boy, long kick into the forward pocket. And a fair attack on the ball by young Steiner. And stacks on the mill again.
The ball nearly popped out to Benny Schiller, who ran behind that contest beautifully.
It's good to see the former skipper back out there.
Adds a little bit of an X factor to the team.
Grunt.
A little bit of
experience.
hardness.
2019 Premiership captain on Freeling Oval.
Let's not go there.
Against who was that against? Afghanistan, that's right. Very good. Don't hit me, Teeks.
The camera's not on us. It's okay. Ball deep in Tanunda's forward line here. We'll have a ball up.
Bit of a stalemate there.
Wind actually catches the ball in and favours Koshel in the ruck. Freeling now clearing by hand, by foot. Ball hits open space. Tanunda the first to run back onto it. Now Freeling working hard.
Good pick up by Ross. And a great tackle by Hahn. That is a really, really smart
That
tackle.
is a young player tackling a big senior body and just giving him no chance. It's beautiful work. He really is impressive at the moment. And Hahn now with the bowie, kicks around the corner. That's going to drift out of play, out on the full. But yeah, we're seeing Rothy, Hahn and co out on that outer side, just really setting a tone for the Magpies.
Using their leg speed, good ball skills.
But using their physicality as well.
Absolutely. It's not going to be the prettiest day for footy, and having another look at it, the wind, we're trying to work out, I don't think it actually really favours one side or the other. It's almost a westerly coming in. And
It's a diagonal wind, not quite straight across the ground.
that's a good mark back there by Voigt, and they've called play on. No. Oh, there's some dissent out there.
The only people it will help is the defenders on that high ball in.
Absolutely.
Ball thrown back. Didn't quite find Voigt. He has to go collect it. Now he's got to work out how far he wants to walk up before he starts his run up.
Sort of conditions you'd be wanting the long stops on. That is a very long kick, and everybody misjudged it except for the back pocket.
That's Trav Muster at the back. He
There's
reads that play
experience
well. He's got a player in the middle of the ground, but the siren goes to end the first quarter. And on the Burge Barossa scoreboard, Tanunda 1 goal straight, leading Freeling 2 behind.
Can't say it's been setting the world on fire with any huge excitement at the moment.
Not exactly a classical game of football, but I'm enjoying a lot of the things that I'm seeing from Tanunda's young brigade of Magpies. They really have played an exciting style of footy.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
We're going to take
a break. We'll be back for the second quarter in a moment.
Thank you. All right, we're back on with the commencement very soon of the second quarter as everybody makes their way off the oval, kind of slowly. It's more like lava moving at the moment. But
no need to hurry.
I think they're all enjoying the little bit of sunshine while we've got it. It's another cold and pretty bloody miserable week, I should imagine.
It has been a little bit cold, but it's pretty hot around the contest at the moment. The tackling has been ferocious.
Absolutely.
About to start the second quarter.
Voigt is about to hoik it into the air.
Voigt versus Koshel. Koshel gets the better of that.
Scotty Dutchke, as usual, head over the ball, hitting it hard.
Wins the free kick.
Got the free kick. See if we can use it going out of the centre of the
Goes
oval.
long out to the other side.
That's well sport by young Smith.
Well defended.
A great pick up there too by the Freeling player. I didn't quite catch who that was. It might have been Benny Heinrich out there actually, but two big rucks go at it again. Ball's up. Scott Dutchke again with the ball. and tackled to the ground by Sam Cahoon. Oh no, it wasn't. It was young Harry Porter.
Kosher with the tap there. Straight
There's
to
a couple
Porter.
of bulls, isn't it? Porter and Dusky.
Yes.
Some size on both lads. That's a great little pick up there. Again, Porter clearing the ball down the wing.
No one able to control that.
Couldn't get to the ball of the ball.
So we will be seeing a Freeling kick in the last touch.
Last touch.
They go deep down that defensive side. That's a good strong mark taken there. That's big Sammy Carmichael. Drives it low. That's a beautiful take.
There's Benny Heinrich there
goes
with a
to
long
the
ball
elsewhere.
inside.
Had a target in Ross, but he drops it, picks it up. That handball missed its target.
There's some heat on the contest there in the back lines of Tanunda.
Freeling standing
And
up.
a
There's
snap
a
on
flying
goal.
kick. I think he's got that.
I think he feels like he's got it. We'll wait and see. No, it's been over the post.
Yes,
That's a brave.
It was very close from here.
We can say that it's got to be fair because that would be Freeling's goal umpire at that end.
And they had a much better view than we did.
Absolutely. You did turn sideways so I could see through. Missed your teaks.
That's all right.
Young Thompson there with a great pick-up and a good handball. Down to Porter.
That's
Porter's long ball into forward.
Unable to control that.
Trainer missed that one. There's a clever handball. Steiner hoists it in the
comes
air.
high into the middle of the ground.
And there's a tack on the man and the ball. That's really solid stuff, that. We've got a Tanunda player down behind play. He's on his haunches there. Might be suffering a bit. That looks like Sam Brooks, I believe.
And Brooks looks like he's lost a little bit of wind. May have had some plum contact.
That is a solid tackle. And he's been called. So that's young Porter again.
And the Freeling player is slow to recover from that.
Extricating him. I think he's going to be pulling himself down from about 5 feet deep. And Steinert's taken an excellent mark deep in the forward, 50, 30
He really is
out.
an impressive young forward with the potential to play 5 different positions around the ground, but I think forward is his bag.
Absolutely, it always has been, and it's really where he's at. But young Porter's really bullocked in some hard work there this quarter. It's been outstanding.
I think he's almost tougher than his father.
Wow.
Definitely quicker.
Definitely quicker than Tony. Those hands were sharp though, and
That's
that's a
really
great
good kick from Steiner. That's the second goal for the match. Second goal for Tanunda on the Birds Barossa scoreboard. Tanunda now leading 2-1, 13 to Freeling 3 behind.
The same shots at goal. Freeling have had their opportunities, but it just they've probably wasted it a little bit.
Yes, Freeling probably just not quite finishing off their work at the moment. Some of those passes and handballs have gone to grass that could have found us.
Absolutely, and with that too, we've got we're seeing the bones of a really exciting contest here, but it wouldn't take much if Tanunda got another couple of quick ones to blow it out of the water.
Yes, but equally, Freeling just need a couple of things.
Great
That was beautiful out of the middle for the Redlegs. That's the best play they've had for the day. And that tap down.
That's a great spoil and attack on the contest again by young Porter.
Again, Freeling just aren't being given any room to move. Tanunda are suffocating them and squeezing the life out of them like a boa constrictor on a small animal.
Quite. They're spoiling each other there too in that case.
There's McDonald with that kick around the corner, high, gave everyone a real
up very
chance.
early, but he's got a big kick out of the back line and an attack on the ball by Thompson. Fearless running towards the boundary line on a much bigger opponent.
And
Could probably do with a haircut, young Thompson, I reckon.
caused it to be a boundary throw-in instead of a kick-in for Freeling.
Voigt's getting first fingers to the ball there and just not making the most of it at the moment.
And no one could position themselves under that ball. That quick clearing kick comes back.
That spiral punt, and
everyone caught out.
Steinert.
Beautiful pick-up from Steinert.
Good hands to Brooks to Thompson.
He puts the ball out into space, and Trav Muster showing a turn of speed that I didn't know he had.
Right.
He's caught, goes to ground.
And that bounce of the ball just got Trainer caught in the wrong spot totally.
And not really in sync with each other there as to where was the best way to go. They haven't played a lot together yet, Trainer being new to the team.
Slade, yeah.
They didn't know where was the best way to go.
It's good tap work there, again by Steinert. We've got Cahoon that's got a step on him. Really clever
Comes back
footwork.
with a handball.
Tommy Hahn is taking a shot from a long way out. Is it going to come back?
Not quite. The wind would not allow that back, but it was a good effort. So a minor score for the Pies. Really controlling the momentum of the play, though.
Quite a really structured sort of style. It's not free running in any way, but when they've got the ball, they're just being quite considered in how they're doing it.
But when they don't have the ball, their work rate is impressive.
Absolutely.
You know, there is always two players willing
Thomas
to attack the contest.
Absolutely. And that run off again. Beautiful leg. What a lead. And could be called pushing the back there, but wasn't. Trainer probably missed that. He should have had that swallowed up.
Yes.
That was an exceptional delivery there off
Hands weren't quite right as he attacked the ball, but a dart of a pass. Ball on the outer side now. Ball up. Koshel using his hands to push forward out the way before collecting the ball himself, and a left foot kick forward. The underplayer was bundled under the ball.
Hahn again at the bottom, and then there's a fair bit of hard rough and tumble work in there by the co-captain Gers.
Umpire will call for the ball. He'll ball it up. Koshel using his immense bulk and then tapping the ball down. Freeling player is immediately wrapped up by Colhoun. And Koshel going to the fist this time.
Hales for Freeling's been right at the fall of the ball a lot. They haven't used
good
it.
Quick clearing turnaround.
And Thomas Hahn having
a strong mark by Sam Daff. He's got a chance to set something up. He goes into the middle with a quick pass to Dutchke. Dutchke's now taking his time.
Assessing. There's not a lot of movement forward.
Giving Tanunda a real chance to get back, but he's found another open target in Mitch Lovell.
And Hales
Lovell comes wide again. That's a good forward pass. That's the first time Freeling have had a chance to move the ball cleanly. And that's big Jonathan Ross on the end of it. He's the guy they want kicking for goal. He's the best kick in the team.
Hales' run off of half back there is exceptional. He was the one that really got it set up and started. Considered ball work in the midfield there with Dutchie just taking his time to make sure that they used it and didn't blaze away.
That's been different to what they've done all day. They've tried to move the ball quickly all day.
That's a very good kick for goal.
And that is one of the best kicks you'll see all day in this win. That's Jonathan Ross with the first major for Freeling, and really brings Freeling back into the contest now. They're only 4 points down. Tanunda 2-2-14 to Freeling 1 goal 3-9 on the Birds Barossa scoreboard. So a 5-point game, and Freeling right back in this contest now after they looked like they were a step below.
Well, I think, Teeks, we touched on it before that Tanunda really had to nail a couple of those forward thrusts and almost put the game to bed in a certain manner. There's an undersized ruckman out there, and
that hands
Aaron
back
Manning.
to Hahn. That's a good outlet.
Under Cahoon and Trainer under the ball.
And a beautiful pick up there. Ash the hand ball to Steinert. Steinert's handball was good, but well defended by Freeling. Desperation work now.
Thomas Hahn out to
Porter
with a behind the stick.
Just not quite finishing off, but it was really good work there in close for the Pies.
Absolutely. Attack by Rothy on that half forward line, really busted open, was exceptional.
And Porter getting a ton of the footy.
He's got leather poisoning at the moment.
I think if he came to the bench, the ball would land in there.
That would have no choice but to follow him.
Brilliant to kick in. Mr. plays on. He goes long. The wind picks that up and carries it a bit further. And well collected at the bottom of the
work
pack.
out who number 6 for Freeling is. He's not listed on the time sheet here. Again,
chop
steady
off
movement.
the Tanunda. Here they come. And Porter again. Couldn't mark that. But he buttles up again. Adds the extra on that tackle.
There's some big chests out there. The ball's bouncing off of it at the moment. There's
Big rubber chests.
Grab it in their hands. Get it in front. Get it the jukes out there, boys.
This from your massive experience as a forward.
Absolutely. Mostly trying to belt him playing fullback.
That's a really good tap forward, but cut off by Freeling. That's good work by hand around the back of the contest. That kick. Oh, and free kick being paid by Freeling. Looked like a really good spoil initially. May have caught him high at the tail end of it. Heinrich goes, that ball really holds up in the wind.
Look at that. You haven't got a hope, have you? Trying to attack that ball.
Ball comes out the back. There's McDonald.
He's been wrapped up. He took too long to get rid of it.
That could well have been. It is holding the ball. And Tanunda can move the ball quickly to the outer side.
No, Dowse has got to take this kick. You can see the return on that kick, trying to bring it back. It's just impossible at the moment. Tanunda's going to a very small second ruck there with Aaron Manning.
They've been forced to do that. The lack of size in the Tanunda team is glaring when they have to do that.
Gers has made way at the half-back line to a beautiful running kick.
Well judged, well weighted. Porter read it beautifully.
Hands off. And that's Cahoon.
The best leg in the team.
Going long, and unfortunately
just offline. Probably had more time there and could have made more of that, but minor score for the Pies.
Something that I've noticed in local footy that's creeping down into, it's coming down from the AFL, is the lack of a shepherd.
Correct. It's a lost art form.
That's
a
selfless
skill.
act. He's off, and that's a great smother by young Jack May.
And a beautiful tackle.
That bloke's been wrapped up comprehensively. We don't
Part
know
of
who he is.
the death of the shepherd is the bumping situation in AFL currently.
Correct.
You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you can knock someone out by just getting them unlucky with a flush blow.
That's it. Aaron Manning's really followed up his
Aaron
work here.
Killian there with a really good tackle attempt. Killian, a welcome return to the Freeling team after he was overseas for the first chunk of the season.
Absolutely. Number 56 with Tanunda, Aaron Manning, has the largest pair of shorts on in the world, I believe.
You see the
Scotty
ball
getting rolling young Jack May around, and a friendly pat on the bum.
We see Sam Carmichael in the ruck for Freeling now.
Two strong boys there going at it. Young Ports nearly got cleaned up by Lockie.
Now,
uses the
good
ball
drive
beautiful.
ball.
Great.
That's what you've been calling for, is take the ball out in front.
Out in front, get it in your
And
jukes.
Train has done just that. He's got a tough ask now. He's probably not on the right line just yet.
The Maria Street Gale will be a nightmare to try and counteract.
He needs to move several metres to his left to line up. But he's confident from where he is. He's going to be kicking from at least 45 metres out.
Going hard, this will go right to left.
He's on that. He's judged it reasonably well, but just taken for a minor score. That gale is really strong once you get away from the protection of these buildings.
Absolutely.
I went over the netball before and I nearly got blown back.
Oh, sorry. Says something about going to the netball.
There's nothing wrong with going to the netball.
Actually, the Tanunda courts do have a fairly large screening capability on that western side now, so that's aided them a lot, I understand.
Yes.
Ladies are a little bit happier about things.
Which is great for the mid-court until you get to the goal area.
So we might have a blood rule or an interchange here with and Matt's going off, and Benny Hazeldine coming on.
Clearing kick on the outer side. No one's able to gather it. Now Freeling by hand.
Smith nearly with the intercept mark there.
Freeling able to work that back. Unfortunately, that's spilt. So Tanunda now get the chance once again. That kick lets everyone down. Freeling player dived on it. He's dived on immediately. A real scrappy game of football at the moment.
Just not a lot of really sharp stuff going on, is there?
I know it's windy, but a lot of the close-in handballs not hitting targets isn't wind-related.
That's correct. That is a good mark by young Hazeldine. And Scotty Dutchke manages to pull it from somewhere, we don't know. But he's quick to
That's a very
chisel
low
the ball
pass.
across.
Wind couldn't affect that. It was almost a worm burner.
And Hazeldine rolls down and gets the ball back.
Fresh back onto the field.
That's good ground coverage there from the way that I'd say it's probably at his most athletic days have been gone. But
a fair bit of pot kettle there.
Nudging 50, I'm not bothering to try and impress anybody these days.
That's a really good contact on the ball, drifting to the right.
Oh, how bad is that wind? And it's just
that ball
just
died and dropped like a lead balloon late. And a beautiful mark taken here.
Is it?
Muster snuck down after he passed that ball to Hazeldine. So he's read the ball beautifully. He's going to have a rare shot on goal. Played most of his career back behind half-back.
Absolutely, we're some of the finest footballers that have played the game.
He is one of the finest footballers Freeling have had in a long time.
And he's
drilled that.
He's drilled it, and that brings it down to a 1-point ball game on the Burge Barossa
game on. Tanunda 2-4-16, leading Freeling by a single point, 2-3-15 on the Burge Barossa scoreboard, of course. But this is going to be a real fight now. Both teams have to find a way to get clean possession. Back in the middle.
So I believe that was Nick Hales that kicked that, wasn't it? He's run all the way back to fullback. Back pocket. Run. More like dragged himself back. I think the ground's pretty heavy and those legs are hard.
Ball up now. Strong tap for Freeling, but Tanunda able to mop that up. That's Lockie Earl. He loves the work in close in the middle. Haven't seen a lot of him today, but he's been on the bottom of a lot of these packs. That punch there from Koshel. Ricochets out wide.
Oh, that's yes.
No one able to get clean bowls.
Double tackles there, the Freeling player. Koshel just holding out Big Henry Voigt with one arm in these ruck punters.
Does so once again. The
Voigt
ball comes
does
down
a good
to
job
Earl.
there, gets it out. Earl, quick ball out. There's a bit of an attack on the ball there. Rothy standing over it. Get it out, son. Or she'll be penalised. No.
As we are 17 and a half minutes into the second quarter on the Ray White Craig Moore time clock. And big tackle there, wraps up. Hahn's in there.
Koshel hanging off of Thomas Hahn. Yeah, you wouldn't think you'd say that, but the young fella did well to keep his feet. Yes. Koshel tapped it
straight puts an underplayer. Hahn has the running shot. That's just gone through for a minor score. Tanunda peppering the goals at the moment.
Absolutely, plenty of missed opportunities here.
It's not raining goals, it's drizzling points for Tanunda. Freeling to bring it back in now. That gets a short,
Nick Hales
cute little kick into the middle.
through to Sammy Daff. Again with that sort of blonde topped porn star sort of mustache thing going on there. Bit of an odd looking nipsy, that one. That's a long kick out to the wing.
Really is, but well cleaned up there. Tanunda player rode that beautifully, but he was wrapped up straight away. A lot of good work being done at the fall of the play, but as soon as players are able to pick that up cleanly, there is someone on their hammer making sure that they can't get the ball away.
Very man on man. There's no zones being played here. She's one-on-one footy.
It's very disciplined footy.
It is actually. It's
Players
surprising how
are
well
not doing their own thing. They are willing to stick to the team plan and just do the hard work.
So an interchange here with Brooks coming on and young Porter coming off. And breather.
Looks like the ball will be about to head into the interchange box to find Porter.
Now Sam Brooks has just sprinted 75 metres to get somewhere near where he thought the ball was going to go, and it absolutely went nowhere near it. He will be blowing.
And Freeling's got the ball out on the outer side now. And they're going to stick to that. That ball could
Nick
drift
Hales,
anywhere.
that's a big kick again.
Well picked up at the bottom of the contest.
Tanunda again, shovel the ball out quickly to Jack May.
That's a good cut off by Daff.
That's it. That's
Ball
a bounce
forward.
ball. And it'll be
Even
a
Cameron Green wouldn't have claimed that.
No, and how good are his hands? My goodness. It's like having Henry the Octopus playing in Gully.
He'd be handy out here.
Absolutely. Everybody that gets the ball is getting tackled almost immediately, as we said earlier, that the determination to stay tight.
There's going to be
Sheridan
paranoia.
Earl, Voigt outside to the run of Thomas Hahn again. A bit of a shallow sort of entry ball type situation going on, and can't quite see who it was. It ran straight into young Rothie, who took care of Sam Daff.
I think there'll be paranoia from a few guys at the bar after the game. Every time they go to buy a drink, they'll be looking around to see who's going to try and tackle them.
That's it, they won't get a step away. Young Hahn again, he's on the bottom of the pack and getting, well, he's being done for holding the ball. I thought it was almost a call for
There's been
a couple of blokes jumping all
almost
over
very
him.
few holding the ball calls today. That was quite red hot.
Yes.
Electing to play that defensive side.
Westhoff with quick hands.
That ball comes back in.
And the run on play was there, but didn't quite get on it.
Hamish
Young
Martin
Manning
in the middle of the ground.
That was a bad kick that by
Good pickup by Ross. He's tackled by three Magpies immediately.
Ross has managed to pull that one out.
Gets the free kick. He's got a chance to drive this long.
And Hamish got sucked into that one by the bigger, smarter, older bloke.
And that's
a long kick in.
Benny Heinrich takes a good mark, probably 25, 30 metres from goal. This will be an interesting kick with the wind.
Benny Heinrich, is that Austin Poulton there popped up? Number 16, I'm not sure. But we're looking at the replay here. And my eyes aren't that good, so we'll just say, let's go with Ben Heinrich. If he misses, it'll save him putting his name down.
Coming in. Goal umpires working hard.
Didn't even make it. And it's through for a point.
And Russ through for a minor score. That wind was right in his face.
Absolutely, it is Benny Heinrich that did that. Good call there, Teeks.
Thank you. I know that hurt to say.
Well, you know, I'll pay credit where credit's due. Rarely, but I'll pay it.
I have to say I'm a little disappointed there's no Ben Murray wine here for me.
Well, mate, it's in the back of the ute. It's part of the sponsorship deal with the club, but oh, that's a bad kick. Again, this switch kicking really isn't working out for Tanunda. Not doing themselves
Dutchke
any
there with a
Dutchke's
desperate
played
mark.
on. And that's
a horrible kick.
Arguably one of the worst kicks I could have ever imagined that Jaden Matt's ever taken off his boot. That's a shocker.
That's almost gone behind him. You would have had a few goal shots like that yesterday, wouldn't you?
Well, not me so much, but I do know somebody that might have been suffering. Bit of sideways Army golf action. Can you see the...
His name, we won't mention the name, but the initials Toby Eglinton.
It could be Tobias Wayne Eggleton, 1 year and 5 days my junior. And
that's a beautiful pick-up and handball.
Just missed the target again. They're missing the target. Hands are sloppy. Some desperation work there by the Tanunda player at the bottom of the pack.
What could have been a great breakout is yet another stoppage in the middle of the ground. Umpires are working as hard as anyone today, having thrown the ball up repeatedly.
It is good to see, by the way.
Siren goes for half-time.
Well, there's only a couple of points in it. We've got a very tight, low-scoring arm wrestle and affair with
Tanunda leading 2-goal 5-17 to Freeling 2-goal 3-15 on the Birds Barossa scoreboard here at Tanunda Oval. That brings the first half to a close. Who are your better players for Tanunda, Dan?
At this stage, I'd have to be saying that Thomas Hahn and Harry Porter have both had the ball on a string. They've been delivering into the forward line really well and probably been let down by some of the forward craft. The younger blokes seem to be really stepping up. There's some good defensive work there by young Thompson and Rothy.
Yes, Rothy I was going to mention has been fantastic.
And the co-captains, I think, stand up and really acquit themselves in Smith and Gers. So it's really, really good to see these young blokes getting and using using the ball as well as they can. So
yes, definitely. I would agree with all of those. I would say that Jack May impressed me a lot. He did a lot of work and gave Tanunda a lot of run.
Jack's, and again, these guys have been in and out of the game. It's really hard to get a read on it. I think, there's been some highlights there, but use of the ball up until it going into the forward line has been pretty good. Tanunda had just murdered a couple of times, which give Freeling a couple of shots on goal with the switch across half-back, and by not providing that properly has really not done them any favours whatsoever.
No, trying to play cute in these conditions isn't going to reward anyone. The first give has to be decisive, it has to be long. You can't have a quick sideways chip. In these conditions, that's just, with the tightness that both teams are playing, you've got no separation on an opponent. As soon as you put the ball up and give the opposition a look at it, you're in trouble.
I agree. And at the end of the day, Freeling do have, they've got the bigger ruck. It looks arguably like they're getting first touch of the ball with Coachell at every stoppage, but it's that second and third touch that doesn't seem to be sort of working for them. And you want to see, don't want to see Scott Dutchy continually being the one that is head down, bum up, going for the ball. There's a couple of young fellas there that are probably not really acquitting themselves like we thought they would. So, but it's a tight contest, and it's one that is reflective, I suppose, of where both clubs are currently situated on the table.
Yes, definitely. Both teams outside of finals action, but there is still pride to be had. The traditional rivals have been playing each other for over 100 years, and neither team is going to want to surrender.
Absolutely. So, going for it, looking at the table with it's very clear at the top there with South Gawler and Barossa Districts, and Barossa Districts probably been a bit of the surprise packet, haven't they? They've really jumped out with a young, exciting team.
They are an exciting team. I've watched them a few times this year, and every time I watch them, they get better.
Yeah, indeed, and but you look at where this game's sitting. You've got a 2 and 5 and a 1 and 6 playing each other. It's really not it's not living up to any massive standard, unfortunately.
No, it's not. But there is still a beauty in the game for those people who love tackling, who love accountability, who enjoy that old school footy where it's hard, it's contested. There is something here for everyone to watch.
Indeed. Well, I think Mr. Teakle will have a quiet refreshment, and we'll come back with the
second half.
With the second half, absolutely.
We'll sit back and watch the Oz kickers out there having a bit of fun. The future of the Tanunda Footy Club on display out on the Oval at the moment.
Indeed. All right. See you then.
We'll be back for the second half shortly.
Cheers.
roll you down. Okay.
We're back up and running. We're alive. All righty, everybody.
Welcome back to the Tanunda Oval for the third quarter. Koshel with a big tap down there, straight to Mats, but the umpire's recalled that. No, he's played a free kick going the way of Koshel, who has been bodying his opponent out most of the day. He drives the ball long. No messing around. Freeling player at the back. That's a great take from Ross and a great start. Freeling have hit the lead for the first time today.
Very fast football there, decisive
Just
from the centre, as simple as you want it to be.
That's something that we haven't seen enough of from both teams today. Just bang the ball forward and make something happen.
Bit of the old Dorothy Dixer out the back, but when you've got a bloke as big as Koshel able to slot the ball 65 metres.
And I've got a few scores from around the grounds on the Birds Barossa scoreboard. Currently at South Gawler, half time. South Gawler leading Angaston 8-5 to 2-7 at the half.
Gee, if somebody had kick straight, maybe.
Yes. And at Kapunda 2-0, 12, trailing Newry 10-6, 66 at the half.
Clear work from Porter out of the middle. And a sliding, slipping Ben Schiller mark.
Stood up in
Young
the tackle.
Rothy's pumped it long and deep into the forward
That's
50.
a beautiful
and a great
mark
defensive
taken
mark.
there. That is some great work in defence. I
Something
believe
Hazeldine
it
there,
was
I think.
Hazeldine. He's going to bring the ball out to the grandstand side. A risky
Steiner
kick.
attacked the ball. Rothy
Was
didn't
grabbed
have
without it. That was good, well seen by the umpire. He's got a chance to drive the ball forward. Goes for a shallow entry. Tanunda player had a good attack at the ball, couldn't quite finish it. Freeling by hand out the back. That ball looking for Koshel. Clears him. He runs onto it over the back. Well good pick up from the big man.
Fella,
the kick was a little scrappy. But might work for
over the
Freeling.
back to Heinrich.
That handball out.
Wide. Got
Finds
Oliver. Oliver's delivery
Charlie
to
Oliver.
Ross.
Oliver with a beautiful kick.
Freeling have definitely come out alive. They're warmed up. They're ready to roll. Tanunda saying
And not messing around with the footy.
No messing around with it. No overworking the handball here. They're just going direct and long with the foot.
And that kick
That's a
straight through the middle.
second quick goal to Ross.
And
busted
really
it open.
does turn the game a little bit into Freeling's favour at this stage. Tanunda's third quarters haven't been great this year, and that's an early sign that maybe this one is not going the way they would like.
Ross with 2 quick goals in this quarter and 3 for the game is really stamped his authority. And to be honest, you'd have to be asking some questions on the boundary line at the Tanunda dugout. What can be done to make this happen? There seems to be a bit of a stagnation there and a bit of a lack of decisiveness coming from that quarter.
Yes, ball back in the middle as Voigt goes to battle with Koshel again. Koshel gets over the top of that, brings it down. Mats tucks it under his arm, but then the handball backwards, and he's held after he's released it. No.
The ball's going back to Porter for being held onto by Tylor. Porter kicks it long.
That is a long kick. And that's what Tanunda need. Just get the ball forward, make something happen.
Sam Brooks has got a free kick for over the shoulder, I believe. He'll be kicking for goal from 30 metres out.
And again, that's Tanunda returning the favour, doing exactly what Freeling have done to them in the opening minutes of the third quarter.
Absolutely. So we see, again though, we're talking about 1 or 2 players. We're talking about young Harry Porter. I was just talking to his father and just said, at least he's getting it and he's being decisive. Brooks' shot on goal, he's poked at it and he certainly hasn't done any favours for the kick.
No, minor score. So that'll give Freeling a chance to bring the ball out. They're coming down the grandstand side. The wind has dropped
considerably.
Massively. Beautiful
Manning's
pick up there.
Entry back in. It's a good leg. Greenside completely missed the ball. There's attack on the man. The Freeling defender there holding his ground.
So ball up probably 20 metres in front of the Tanunda goal.
Koshel over Steiner. It's a bit of a man-mountain mismatch.
That Freeling able to get that clearing kick.
Matt Westhoff reading it very well.
Just plays on. Bangs the ball
Ball
long.
is holding up a long way, and Koshel again with a great defensive
Too
mark.
big, too strong. Size does matter.
Size does matter. That's it. He is not going to get any smaller as the day goes on either.
He booms the ball down the outer side. The Freeling player slipped as he was trying to get rid of it. So Tanunda able to pick his pocket.
Cahoon with an entry, Trainer with the spoil. And again, Tanunda haven't woken up to the fact the ball is holding up.
Yes.
So the forwards aren't rolling in front of their defender.
No.
They're allowing themselves to be
They're
led
behind,
to the ball.
but the ball being popped up isn't helping them.
Absolutely not. So
Lower your eyes, drive the ball low. Don't let the wind be an influence.
that's it. Koshel's just backhanded it another 35 metres around the boundary line. It's as good as a kick. When you've got arms like legs, it's pretty easy to do.
Yes, it is interesting. You wonder which lab he was created in.
Well, I'll tell you what, you look at some of the photographs of when he was first brought in by the Power, and he certainly wasn't that big.
No, but he was still very young then.
He's very young, indeed. So we've got a shot on goal here by Tanunda. So there was either, can't quite recall what happened there. So there was a hand over the shoulder, and that was paid.
Coming in now.
Greenslade, shot on goal.
Umpire
holding up
is
again.
doing a fair bit of work.
And that's a fairly good kick from out there.
That's a goal. That's a good reply. Quick reply from Tanunda. And that will bring them right back into the game.
The Burge Barossa scoreboard, we've got Tanunda 3 goals, 7-25, trailing Freeling 4-4-28. And 3 points probably doesn't do justice to the work that Freeling have put in today.
We're only 7 minutes into the third quarter and more goals scored in this quarter than we saw in the entire first half.
Indeed. Interchange there, Rothy off, and who's that just come on then? That's young Hamish Martin. The ball's up, Porter again fighting away.
Matts took the ball in one hand, but he was being held before he got it. So a free kick going his way. He was driven into the turf for his trouble as well.
Called a free kick on Cahoon. He doesn't look that enthused at the moment. Taking a while to get rid of the ball.
Goes long, looking for Ross. He was bumped as the ball came to him. Good handball out the back. Doesn't find the target though. And Freeling player, as he was going to ground, was taken high. That was Oliver. That kick looked ugly, but
it was effective, wasn't it?
It was effective because
Scott Dutchke got it right on the chest.
Dutchke had slipped and was on the ground. If he'd been standing up, he would have struggled to bend that old back to get it.
That's it. And as we watch the replay, it should come off the instep.
This is probably the hardest spot on the ground to kick from into this breeze.
I'd say so. He's going to be struggling here. Can he kick over a can these days?
Distance will be an issue as that ball holds up, drops to the top of the square.
Oh, front and centre was the Freeling player, and he's tried to fend off.
Holding the ball.
Gers has tackled brilliantly.
Trent Gers, that's leadership and courage.
Absolutely.
I'm about 8 inches taller than Trent Gers, and I wouldn't want him tackling me.
Not at all. Not at all. It's a long kick out to the grandstand side.
Oliver there with the spoil.
Over young Martin. Not exactly aiming at some tall timber out there. The Tanunda players were well shorter than their opponents.
There's boundary throw in now, almost in front of our commentary position. You can see the two big ruckmen.
Voigt against
Voigt takes front position, but Koshel just sort of drops it down behind him, and his Freeling player was grabbed high.
Apparently grabbed high. I'd be questioning that. I think he experience, many years of experience there played on
the
that
legs
one.
did give way,
They
probably
did.
a little too easily, but that's how you play the game.
That is.
That ball goes deep. Looking for Jonathan Ross. He couldn't quite hang on to it.
And Smith Slater, a heavy tackle there.
And so we'll have it's a free kick being paid.
You know they called that
Going the
high,
way
have
of Freeling.
they? We have a look here on the replay.
And Benny
Oh,
Heinrich
Smith.
taking the kick.
Yes.
Right in front of goal. Wind won't be an issue. Comes in and drives it straight through into the trees behind the goal. So Freeling really starting to take control of the game and make the most of their opportunities for the first time today.
Absolutely, and that just comes through, again, that commitment at the contest and being able to put yourself in the right spot.
And their size advantage is really starting to show when they get the ball in the forward 50 quickly like that.
Correct.
That Tanunda's defenders are undersized and they have to resort to anything they can to try and spoil and defend, and that's when free kicks will happen.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Teeks. It's,
You probably didn't agree with the free kick. I can tell it in your voice, but
I'm disappointed at the free kick, but it's paid, it's paid. The goal is kicked, and that's the end of the situation at
yes,
the moment.
but that's what Freeling need to do. They need to press home that advantage.
Absolutely. Very tight work there in the centre.
And another good tackle laid. Tanunda's young midfield, well, that was Colquhoun that time, but the young midfield have been really impressive today.
Absolutely.
Koshel with that tap down, but Tanunda's
Young
midfielders are
Porter
there.
again, run off half back there with young Manning.
That's good play. Kicks it out to space. That'll be a free kick to Freeling for last touch.
It's a bit of a wasted effort, that, isn't it? You know, instead of going to that half kick on the half forward flank to bring it inside,
Yes.
would have been a far smarter option and forced the contest.
Or at least to a one-on-one.
Correct.
Ball
It's a bit
coming
of a
back now.
Finger breaking mongrel punt.
Koshel couldn't control it. Comes down. And there'll be a ball up almost on centre wing. On the outer side. Koshel throws his opponent, Voigt, to the ground. I'm not sure how that isn't a free kick.
Some would say he's been doing it all day.
He
but,
has.
It's one of those things where he's able to use his size, his bulk, but Henry Boyd's not a small man. That's
No.
a great tap down
Great
to
tap
Colquhoun.
down. Colquhoun with a big kick.
Some bravery needed here.
That was Trav Muster under the footy there. That's bravery personified. He'll never let you down.
His photos next to bravery in the dictionary, I believe.
I believe it is, and leadership. Long-time captain of the Freeling Footy Club, and one of the best leaders I've seen in country footy.
Indeed.
And ball up on the 50-metre arc at Tanunda's end of the ground. Ball comes down,
Pace at the ball. Player possibly didn't have it, but the ball is coming
and
out.
Tanunda players
Steiner.
wrapped up as soon as he had
And
it.
they're going to call it a throw. Incorrect disposal.
That's Aaron Killian with that tackle. A really welcome return to the Freeling team. Gives them length and strength.
It doesn't give him kicking accuracy by the look of that. That was a shocker.
Ball into the middle of the ground.
Gers,
That's well picked up by
well done.
Gers.
Gets the ball off
That's
quickly.
not the prettiest kick he'll have in his career.
No.
That's quickly
Right.
returned.
They're out again, Freeling.
That's a good kick and a late challenge, but no damage done.
Ross is on a big reaching lead. Smith has got an arm in timely.
Ball spoiled. And well danced around the opponent down there in defence.
Unfortunately,
But
kicked
Koshel
it to the
takes
biggest
that
bloke
mark,
on the ground. Yes.
and he bangs the ball straight back in. It's a little
That'll
bump
be-
from behind, and yes, that has to be a free kick.
That's what happens when you get caught
That's
as an undersized defender.
That's
against
what
a big
I was saying.
forward.
That quick pressure forcing you to defend a guy who is 5-6 inches taller than you and has 20 kilos on you. You've got to resort to that to try and equal the contest.
Absolutely agree.
And that's where Jonathan Ross is just able to take teams apart. That's kick. Didn't really kick through that, but it's straight enough.
Coming back, and he's kicked his fourth.
We were saying earlier today that the conditions were right, that someone would kick a bag today.
That's correct.
You were hoping it would be Jared Traynor.
Not through the lack of
with
opportunities.
Your Tanunda hat on, or actually it's a Ben Murray Wines hat.
I'm a Tanunda jacket.
Ben Murray Wines, some of my favourite wines. Unfortunately, you haven't been dropping enough off at my place lately.
I try and stay away from your place these days, too.
So do I. Ball coming back to the middle now. Freeling really starting to get their mojo going.
They do move it quickly, don't they? Once they get out of that break out of that half back line, and they've got a big target down there in Ross, who's
that
just
is
offering
their trademark, and their one win this year for round one against Tanunda. That's what they did well. Sorry, against Kapunda, that's what they did well.
Heavy contest in the midfield with looked like young Porter losing his feet, and
it is very slippery through the cricket pitch area.
It is.
And Voigt gets that tap down.
Greenslade misses it. What a pickup by Big Sam Carmichael in the mud.
Big Sammy has always had beautiful hands for a man of his size.
Absolutely.
But I guess you don't drop pies when you've got hands that big.
I was not going to be so disparaging, but you've said it. So Tommy Hahn's broken out to the wing, and as he kicks it, he loses footing, which directly affects.
He probably
That's a
didn't need.
Great tackle by young Darcy Thompson, not rewarded, and he's got the ball back again. Ashton Steiner looking to kick it deep
Kicks
into the
low.
forward 50 to nobody. Absolutely nobody
Well
there, and
defended there by
Freeling mop up.
Killian. They bring the ball to this side. Mats has got it.
Maybe young Daff
Finds
There's-
Charlie Oliver.
And the young fellas from Freeling are starting to get a bit of a leg up.
They're starting to get a bit of belief here, and that's when they become dangerous. That's a big bowl forward.
That's it. Sam Brooks was a little bit too far behind Jade Matts.
He took that mark.
His lead's going. There's a lot of activity on the half forward line. It's a sharp little...
Heinrich
And
was leading.
Lockie Earl just chips in for a much needed stay of
Used his
proceedings.
strength to bang Heinrich off that bowl. Someone's screaming for a kick about 12 metres away.
Well, it's really not doing anything good for your team, is it?
Ashton Steiner at the back, couldn't control that.
And the smaller Tanunda forward has been pumped, and that was young Harry Porter again.
As I see Josh Oakless returning to the field.
Good ruck tap by Henry Voigt. He's held his own very well when he's been rucking against the bigger Freeling bodies.
He probably matches up better with Koshel than just about any ruckman I've seen.
I think so.
As players slip over there. We'll have a repeat ball up.
There's an arm going around Cahoon. I know how dangerous he is.
And stalemate once again. Neither team able to get the ball outside of that big huddle. Umpire McGann with the ball up. Ball
Good
comes
ruck
down.
tap. Hamish Martin is burning the football there.
Just a big up and under. That'll go out of bounds. Freeling will have the chance to bring the ball back in and clear their defensive area.
Again, Teeks, you look at that and you go, that's an absolute waste of resources. It's an absolute waste of getting the ball.
Under the old rules, it wouldn't be so bad because you'd have a boundary throw in there, but under the current rules, it is a waste. You are turning the ball over.
Even it's a low percentage, kick option. And
even if you do hit it right on your foot and it travels at a 90-degree angle,
it's still low percentage again. So no, I think there's some structure and strategy things that need. These young blokes should
really moving the ball to half back. Koshel with a punch. A lot of players around this footy. Players lying on the ground, tackling another player who's already lying on the ground.
Stacks on the mill, they call it.
And sounds like another whistle. No.
Bit of
Umpire's
nipple
let it
there,
go. And that's a dangerous tackle.
Surely we've got to call that as a dangerous tackle.
That is the very definition of a dangerous tackle and must be paid.
The presiding umpire, Johnny McGann, was right there, and it was actually called by the
umpire
further
Patterson, who
away,
I think had a better view of it. And I like that. I like an umpire overruling if he knows he's confident on decision.
Indeed. Matthew Westhoff has moved forward. And young Darcy Thompson's absolutely cannon into there. He's shown some bravery there to make that contest.
Took the ball cleanly and then took the bump. Courage is something we haven't seen a shortage of today.
Not at all.
And that's one of the reasons I love games even games like this that aren't pretty. I love seeing players play with reckless abandon and just not worry about what could happen.
Yeah. Well, there's a Freeling free kick in the back pocket.
They've got a chance to clear. That's a massive kick. That's going to travel almost to the centre of the ground, but well cut off by Matt Westhoff, is it?
No. That's Rune Guilfoy. He's been relatively quiet today, but that's a nice kick through to Lockie Earl.
He's got a chance to drive this through at the hot spot. That's a floating kick.
Ugly mongrel finger
Try and
breaking
mark
punt.
that.
And Porter has wrapped up the Freeling player. But no, it's young Steinert there. That was an exceptional tackle.
But Porter and Steinert have both been excellent today. Porter would be close to best on ground, in my opinion.
I think for the 4-quarter effort, I'm concurring with you.
Considering we've only played 2.5 quarters, for his four-quarter effort's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
free
being
kick has been
Nostradamus.
Called out again by the non-presiding umpire from a long way away. So Freeling got the opportunity to clear out of the back lines again.
And they go with a short pass. That works well for them.
Lockie Heinrich there with a 16-metre pass. That was even worse.
That's not going to work at all.
Rothy can't pick it up. And Hopeless is there. But three 16, 17-year-old lads there in Hopeless, Rothy and Thompson. Now there's the future of that club.
And Hopeless, I think, is an absolute player of the future. I really, really like what I've seen in him. I saw his debut at Kapunda last year, and I thought he was close to getting medal votes.
Yeah, outstanding footballer and long line of footballers in the family.
It is one of the great names at Tanunda Footy Club.
Absolutely.
Not just on field, but their work off field.
Their work, some of their finest work off
They are the reason Tanunda Footy Club is as strong as it is. The work their family has done off the field.
Oh, I think so. Not to single out one mob, but it's a significant
effort. They are
effort.
one of those families that you just see working.
And we've got another stalemate inside the forward 50 for Tanunda. Yes. Freeling are holding on very well here. They've nullified any effect. There is a lot of off the ball work going with
There's
with
going to be
some
a
of the Freeling
lot of
boys.
sore players tonight from both sides.
Yeah. There's a lot of work going on there on Cahoon and Earl.
Ball up again, and Voigt that time got his hand to it, but nothing clear. Tanunda player was on the ground and he was taken high. That was obvious.
That's young Hamish Martin. So let's see if we can make up for that wasted shot earlier in the quarter. And
the wind has dropped considerably. It's still a little bit up high.
She's going to be a left to right sort of kick as the big ruckman Carmichael comes off for the other big ruckman.
You don't lose a lot in size there.
No.
Sammy just needs to have a little rest.
Hamish Martin's kick on its way has just gone behind the stick.
So a minor score for Tanunda. Brings them 1 point closer, brings them within 16 on the Birds-Barossa scoreboard. If you've only just tuned in, Tanunda currently trailing Freeling. Freeling 6-5-41, leading Tanunda 3-7-25 on the Birds-Barossa scoreboard. Freeling bringing the ball to this near side. Benny Heinrich on a long lead. Well spoiled there.
Great spoil by Smith.
Smith's been really good today. Hasn't given Heinrich a clean look at the ball all day.
Not at all. And young Oliver looks like he's done himself a harm. He's hobbling towards the line.
Yes, looks like possibly an ankle or a calf. But that was a 90-metre lead from Heinrich, and we laud that, but as much as it was a 90-metre lead, it was a 90-metre chase for Smith.
That's it. The ball's again in dispute in the centre in the mud patch, and Cahoon puts his opponent from Freeling down there to taste the centre wicket area. I think maybe young Scotty Dutchke again pulling a bit of clay off of the off of the burley
and out of his eyes. Dutchke picks it up again, but he's wrapped up by Gers.
No shortage of horsepower and strength in those two units.
No, I think those two, if you wanted to go old school and have a bullet train, those two could do the job.
Absolutely. Well, that's a good clearing kick for Tanunda. Good pick up by Porter.
Beautiful
through
hands.
to Cahoon. Cahoon delivering to Trainer.
Really well weighted left foot kick.
High again. We've got
Comes
Ashton
down.
Steinert.
Steinert roves that beautifully.
As you got the opportunity,
Oh.
and it's behind the stick
Just a minor
again.
score, but that's what Steinert is for. His balance there is beautiful.
Oh, it was great. Didn't lose his footing. Had confidence.
He is really firming into one of my favourite small utility forwards in the competition.
Absolutely. And when he stands up straight, the lad's he's 6 foot tall. He's not small.
That's a family trait. They're tall. They're deceptively tall.
Yes.
It's the evolutionary thing where they don't often stand up straight.
Pretty handy lineage there between the father and the uncles.
Yes. This ball goes out of bounds just in front of the scoreboard. So Freeling in attack once again.
Young Jack May comes back into the field. Haven't seen a lot of him today. He's an explosive type of player with a really shocking haircut. And look at that.
Heinrich well under pressure again.
And May just drifts in and takes a fantastic grab and gets a little one on the back of that dirty looking scone for his troubles.
And Hokeless now with a mark. That's an ugly kick from
Ugly
Hokeless.
kick.
Only just kept it inboard.
Benny Schiller,
Schiller turns, blazes
again,
away.
up
That's
and under.
big high.
ridiculous kick.
Really didn't help a lot of players.
Steinert had it and left it behind. And two Freeling blokes are absolutely riding a young Tanunda bloke into the ground there. That'd be young Jack May again. I think honours go to Freeling in that quarter, well and truly.
Three-quarter time. Freeling have blasted their way back into this contest and taken the upper hand. Currently on the Berge-Barossa scoreboard at three-quarter time. Freeling 6-5, 41, leading Tanunda 3-7, 25.
It's not through the lack of opportunity that Tanunda could have had another 4 to 5 goals on the board. And the contest should be very much going to the home side. But Freeling, to their credit, when they've had their opportunities to move forward, have done so with aplomb. They've done so decisively, and it's resulted in excellent goal kicking. And Ross's work up forward as a 6'3", 6'4" key post.
Bigger than that.
He's outstanding. I'm going from here.
That's a really big quarter for Freeling. They took the game on and played with abandon. They kicked long and forced Tanunda's defenders to make mistakes and gave their forwards one out advantage, which we haven't seen a lot of today. Players have been negative, going back and kicking the ball up and letting the wind make things impossible for the forwards.
Without a doubt. And we saw that again from Tanunda. Their forward movement, shallow, high, not decisive, and skirting the periphery. So we end up with this situation where they're not actually hitting up. Trainers making leads, not being honoured. When he's one-on-one, which we know he can beat almost anybody in the competition, and they're not providing him the ball.
And that's unfortunately, we're seeing a lot of things that I saw last week when they were disappointing. Tanunda have got speed. They've got young players like Hokeless, Porter and Hahn, but they don't play a fast style of game. They go back and they take those players' leg speed out of the game by going back and kicking to contests.
Absolutely, and they're not a team that's built for it.
No.
They're not built for it. So I think it's
that's why Tanunda have the perception of being a slow team. It's more the way they play. It is slow.
Okay, they're missing some players. Tanunda's really missing it. You see Todd Falkenberg out there, who's an outstanding young ruckman. He's
best young ruckman in the competition.
By far. He's nursing a busted shoulder, and there's some of the other Tanunda boys that
Doherty is a huge out, I believe.
Yeah. Doherty's power and pace.
Yes.
Is
Fraser Smith.
Out. Yeah, Fraser out. So the list is long, and it's unfortunate, but you got to play with the cattle, and you got to play to the game plan that you can operate with. And we've seen it that Tanunda can actually do that when they've done it, and they've done it right. They've well and truly made Freeling look average, but vice versa, Freeling have done the same thing 6 times to 3 over Tanunda.
Yes, Freeling's. It showed that first contest in the third quarter when Koshel won a free kick in the middle of the ground, went back, didn't even look around. First instinct was to kick the ball 60 metres deep into the forward line, and that led to the first goal of the game, where Ross was able to get out to the back of the contest and kick the ball truly.
And that creates those opportunities straight away. And
suddenly, Tanunda's defenders were second-guessing themselves, and the ball came in quickly again, and the nightmare began.
Yep. Well, here we go. We're going to go for the
fourth quarter is going to be an absolute ripper here.
You could not get better midwinter conditions, honestly.
No. Ball up, and Koshel gets the ball down.
Dutchke again harvested it immediately.
And well shepherded there, allowed Oliver access to the footy.
Quick kick on the ball. Hokeless mopping up back in the square. Has cleared the ball out. Rothy has wrapped
Rothy, what a tackle.
That is a great tackle
That is a magnificent tackle. Freeling could have turned and driven the ball back to the goal square there. Rothy just saying, not
great
on my
watch.
watch.
Wesley. The ball's allowed to bounce from the ruck, and Lockyell's trying to get it out of Koshel's arm. It's hit the ground again.
Good luck getting it out of those arms. Be like trying to get a lion cub away from its mother.
That's it. Oh, sorry, it was Big Ross doing the ruck work in the forwards. Voigt,
ball bounces.
Tap down. Tanunda with the pick up there.
But again, like we've seen all day, as soon as you pick the ball up, you're going to be hammered.
Young Guernsey there, just again putting his head where angels fear to tread.
It is a rough lid, though.
It is a rough lid. That's a great handball out to Cahoon. Cahoon kicks it to
long.
a 2-on-1 contest.
Muster, leg speed isn't his strength, but he's able to get to it first. The ball really doesn't bounce well, but he's able to clear that ball with a floating torp. Well picked up on the outer side.
Some old
Comes
heads
back.
there. Musters and Heinrichs doing a good job.
Dangerous kick into the middle.
4-1.
Koshel picks up and just bangs it forward, and a big strong mark taken.
There's a great mark there.
That is Koshel again saying, I'm not going to mess around and look for a short kick here. I'm just going to bang it forward. That's decisive, strong footy.
But again, we've got Tanunda players pushing to where they wanted the ball to go, and leaving behind their opponent. And there was 4 Freeling players in the centre of the oval. They raffled that. And a quick kick in, and we got a Freeling shot at goal here.
It's okay to leave your man and try and take the game on, as that first goal of the fourth quarter really has Freeling
Heinrich that's
excited.
Second for the day.
And that's what Benny Heinrich does. He provides an option up forward, and that really does put Tanunda on the back foot now. As we see the scoreboard yet to update.
Hasn't changed yet.
It is getting late in the game for the scorers.
7-4-46 should be. It's playing 4-9-33.
That's
that would be.
Koshel now picks up at the ball. Didn't quite get that handball away cleanly, and the umpire was right there. So he's paid a free kick to Tanunda. That's probably really well done by the umpire. He was right on the spot. Tanunda got their chance to go forward for the first time in the fourth quarter. Matt Westhoff was on a long lead. He had to wait and take it on the bounce. Handball's over his head.
Rothy threw it out.
That's a beautiful take from Colhoun.
And he's looking
on
for
the left.
Somebody in the middle of the oval. There's some bravery
shallow
there.
entry. Freeling able to clear the ball out to this side. They've got level heads.
Tyler out, and he has been nailed.
Holding the ball by Westhoff, who plays on quickly.
Jared Trainer loses
Trainer
footing.
Slipped at the inopportune time. Freeling able to mop that up, and Hales goes long to the outer side. And that's a powerful mark taken by Scotty Dutchke under pressure.
Jack Maylay's a good tackle there, and the handball
Dutchke
resulting
goes
is
back for it.
Thomas Hahn locks him up. Bit of an ugly bit of football there.
That was Keystone Cop stuff almost at times. Both teams had their chance to do it cleanly. As Tanunda around the back of the pack, that's another high kick in.
Thomas Hahn and Matthew Westhoff being well and truly held there. He's going to play on and kick the goal. And they're going to call that
They're going
goal.
to call that back, are they? No.
No.
They're going to allow that to be a goal. That's probably a good decision from the umpire. And Matt Westhoff draws first blood for the Pies. He needs to have a big last quarter.
Absolutely.
The Tanunda don't have any size up forward. He's the only player. As see Hokeless coming off, looks like he's in a bit of pain.
Looks like he might have done it looks like he might have been kicked in the back or stood on or something in
Yeah,
the buttock.
hip injury.
It's a bit buttocky.
You stop looking at his buttock.
Grabbing the softer
the
parts. That's it. There's a bit of body work going on in the midfield here.
And Kosho with a big slap. Ball spinning
Very
on its
clever.
top in the mud. Kick off the deck.
That looked like a knee going down
That
there.
that is
Sam Brooks.
Sam Brooks looks like he's twinned something there.
I do know he had a busted ACL and he's come back from one.
He is trying to run that off. As Mats has the ball, drives that low. That's a really nice pass.
It's a beautiful pass into the midfield.
Finds
running past
Trav Muster.
Killian again.
Killian kicks into the shins of his opponent, but Muster mops it up. Goes back to Killian. Killian back to Muster. And Muster just bangs the ball on his boot and says, I want this ball away from me. And ball goes out, so it'll be a boundary throw in on Freeling, almost on their 50-metre arc. As we see Koshel and Voigt were going at it again. The umpire's seen an infringement. Voigt getting the free kick this time.
Now he's got to use the ball. Instead, he's gone out to the wing, down at the Barossa Tanunda Kegel Club side. There's a long kick coming in.
But again, players are going to be a big pack underneath, and the umpire's seen a free kick going Freeling's way.
That's pretty incredible. I would have thought there was a stalemate given there was one the other way as well.
But again, we are 150 metres from that. The umpire was 20 metres.
Laser vision.
Yes, at your age, I'm sure it is.
Need laser.
That ball,
Guilfoy trying
Ross
to hold
in
out.
a contest with Guilfoy.
And a quick
Dutchke gets up and just smacks the ball forward towards the goals. There's a foot race.
Foot race between Smith and Oliver. There's
Oliver
Rothy.
gets the ball.
Rothy out with the
Tried
hands.
to handball it, but it's cut off. Tanunda, desperate
Gers.
defence. Gers
A
is
good
back there
kick
doing
out.
the work. And Lockie
Lockie
Earl
Earl.
takes the mark. Dutchke tried to knock it out of his hands after the
Ben
fact.
Schiller's still working down that wing. Again, slow.
And they've found a player inboard. It's the rough lid, Gers.
Again, bravery by Porter. Hazeldine could have ironed him out then. Again, there's slow movement going forward.
Yes. Could have ironed him out, but the game's changed and changed for the better in that
Correct.
regard. Hazeldene's a good, clean player.
That's excellent work out of the back line
Hales,
there.
great handball.
Killian.
And that quick kick finds a player on a lead. That's good, decisive play from the Redlegs. They move the ball now. That ball, really clever
Going back
weighted kick.
again.
That's a strong mark taken on the outer side. Can't quite see who it is.
I think it's Tylor.
That's a well-weighted kick again. Player was probably being held.
Smith playing Stein with the ball out.
That ball coming back in. Clean bowls, everyone. Freeling player picks it up. That's a good handball, but he's wrapped up as soon as he gets it.
Laid a great tackle
Jack
there.
May, who weighs about the same as half the jockeys I watched racing at Ascot last night. In fact, he's probably a little bit lighter.
Yeah, he'd be wearing a saddlebag.
He'd need to be
There he
carrying the
goes.
weights.
Got the ball out. Just trying to protect the head there, umpire, one would say. But anyway, we're going to call it for a ball up.
Ball up, almost on the half forward line for Freeling. Kosho with the tap down.
Dusky again at the bottom of the pack.
He's dived on. He hands the ball back to the umpire, which I think he spent a lot of his career doing. I think he's on first name basis with every umpire he's ever played under.
It's understandable. It's taking a bit for the big fella to get off the ground here. He's heavy ground, hard on the legs.
Koshel blunted there by Voigt.
Dutchke.
So we'll have a free kick going Freeling's way. Looks like Dutchke was the recipient. As we see Benny Schiller sprinting to the bench.
And same as Hazeldine, as Ross takes another mark. Imperious
another
mark.
Strong mark. He has been the only forward on the ground who has looked dangerous overhead.
Completely. And again, he's 5 metres ahead of his opponent.
But he's also nearly 200 centimetres tall.
That's a beautiful
that is as good a kick for goal as you will see. That is a coach saying to his teammates, get on my back, I'm going to carry you home.
That's where it's at. And it's reflected by now a 19-point margin on the scoreboard.
We've got 2 playing coaches on the field. One of them is putting his hand up and saying, boys, we're winning today.
That's it.
And unfortunately, Sammy Colquhoun is trying to do the same, but isn't quite getting the same bounce going his way.
No.
As we see the ball back in the middle. Looks like Carmichael's in the ruck for Freeling this time, up against Voigt.
That'd still be
still Koshel.
Yep. The Tats give it away.
Again, it's tight up. So it'll be a repeat ball up in almost the same spot, but on a bit firmer ground. Neither ruckman got a hand to that one.
10.5 minutes in to the last quarter. Thomas Hahn's been given a high free kick.
That's courageous. He's quickly becoming a favourite of mine. I love the way he goes about it.
Harder than a cat's head, kind of like his dad, I think. It's spoiled directly out of bounds.
So we'll have a boundary throw in Tanunda's forward line. Tanunda haven't had the ball forward a lot this quarter. They really need to take advantage of this. They need to cut into this margin, and they need to do it soon.
Well, really, it's been, the forward movement into the Tanunda 50 has been diabolical.
It's been diabolical, but they haven't had possession in their forward 50 for a chance to cut back into this Freeling margin.
The tap to Freeling's advantage has been picked up by the young Freeling player.
Moving the ball quickly.
Lovell's given away a free kick to Gers. Gers moves it across the half-back flank.
That's a good mark taken.
Douse
just moving the ball back.
To Steinert. Slipped in the back.
But this probably plays into Freeling's hands. Freeling's got a chance to man up through the middle of the ground now.
Voigt's got a ball that's landed at his feet. Young Manning, who's been relatively quiet.
Bangs it long. Koshel went under the flight of the ball.
Cahoon's fighting away by himself.
Sees the ball over the boundary line for a boundary thrown almost in front of the scoreboard. As we sneak into 12 minutes into the final quarter here at Tanunda Oval. Starting to get a little darker now.
Not getting any warmer.
No.
Good throw in there by the boundary umpire.
Almost exceeds both the ruckman.
And we're going to be called a Freeling free kick for in the back.
They move the ball quickly to that outer wing. It's a good strong mark taken, and they play on again straight away. That's a low kick. And a diving mark taken. Freeling really looking to take the game on. And kicking to the advantage of their players who are getting in front and demanding the footy.
It's a far crisper ball movement. This young Hales there gets the ball and drives it in to guess who?
Jonathan Ross once again, big mark, but he will be kicking from 55 out. He elects to go short, and he's got a diving target, unable to take it. Ball will be seen over the boundary line.
The attack by young Oliver there was quite significant, but the ball spills out.
Hasn't had his normal impact, but he is a real live wire.
They've called a free kick for Tanunda in that.
I missed that.
Douse there looking at kicking out from the in the back pocket.
The way Tanunda moved this ball will tell us a lot about
That's a beautiful
what they're
kick
doing.
there by Dowse.
That's huge.
An exceptional kick
That's
of the ball.
That's got to be a 65-metre kick.
It goes to nowhere because you end up handing over control of the ball.
Yes. And this late in the game, you can't go down that defensive boundary. You've got to go through the middle.
Makes no sense. Makes no sense whatsoever.
So
the messaging obviously is confused. There's no clarity in the messaging.
But there were no leads in the middle of the ground either.
Well, that's it.
And the senior players should be leading in the middle of the ground and telling a young player where to kick.
Bring it in. Bring it in and come with me.
And when you look up and you see a senior player demanding the ball in an area of the ground, you think that's probably an area I should look at.
Totally agree.
I don't want to be too critical because some people, they probably know a lot more than I do, but that's how I'm reading it.
Oh, great.
Lockyer coming off for a well-earned rest. He's worked his guts out today. Benny Schiller rejoining the fray.
And Stacks on the mill again. We've got a lot of tired bodies out there now. And as we go through it, I think it's fairly indicative again where we're at with both of these clubs in this season. But the ability for Freeling to have stepped up and kick those extra goals has been really important.
Yes. And it's been really good for Freeling. That's their second win for the year, but they've built over the last few years. Jonathan Ross has done a really good job at the Redlegs, and the amount of young players that he's blooded and that have contributed today is real testament to what they've done.
Yeah, well, it's an expanding community, as we touched upon off camera and off microphone before. There is a huge population growth opportunity out there for
Freeling have the chance to become a powerhouse club.
Oh, without a doubt.
They've been it before, and they've got a chance to get back to their halcyon days. The community out there are craving success. As we see the ball up on the other side, that tap really doesn't go to anyone. Tanunda pick it up. That's Colhoun. He's dancing. Handballs to a player who's wrapped up immediately. He kicks around the corner.
Was static. Dutchke, a quick kick in. Steiner with a very clever mark there against two opponents.
Really is impressing. That ball into the middle of the ground, but unfortunately Benny Schiller was outsized by a bigger opponent.
Guilfoyle with a quick kick out of centre half back to the call of Sam
Colhoun. Colhoun takes it, plays on.
And Trainer's being worn by
Hales like a glove. But that was better movement from the Pies.
Much better.
But you could see when the ball got to Colhoun, he was decisive and he knew he wanted to play on.
Big throw in the sunshine. Beautiful view of the Barossa Rangers in the background here. It's an under oval.
AFL, pay attention.
Pretty handy out by Coach Shelburne. Called for a ball up before the throw was noted.
And Koshel gets his hand to it again.
A quick handball out to Gers. Gers stepping around.
That's beautiful work from Gers.
To Trainer's, over Trainer's head.
But that's all right. That's a boundary throw in at about 35 metres closer to goal. They'll take that at the moment, Tanunda. Trent Gers has done a power of work today. Hasn't had the possessions he had last week, but has done the grunt work and allowed players around him to, like the Hans and Porters, to flourish.
Absolutely, and looks like he's wearing, he's on Scott Dutchke at the moment, so he's injected himself into that role.
And that's definitely too hard, heavy
Rothie
weights.
with a quick kick into the 50, and Porter gets up and takes a fantastic...
That is the mark of the day.
They're not calling that mark. Oh, umpire Patterson, I'm sorry, but
somehow
have to
Trav Muster
that.
has wound up with that bowl, and he clears it.
And Smith
That's
takes a good mark.
Good
there.
strong mark taken. As we see Brooks returning for Tanunda, so clearly he's
Porter
okay.
again with another great mark there in the forward pocket. and taken umbrage with the treatment by Muster and has had the ball reversed.
Muster just using his veteran smarts, and that's a good kick down the boundary line, finds a teammate. Just a clever footballer.
He's obviously got under the skin of young Porter.
Maybe he told him he didn't like his haircut.
Probably
Young
not
boys
the
don't
first
like
bloke.
that these days.
Probably not the first one to be told. And we got a stalemate out on the wing again. They've actually not played a lot of football directly in front of us today.
No, they have not, and the wind really did bring that about, but also it's been a defensive game, and that is the defensive side of Tanunda Oval.
Correct.
And neither teams wanted to let the ball out, as Tanunda Heinrich takes a good mark. He has the ability to drive the ball deep. Looking for Ross. Ross is under the ball, but the
Ross
ball
and Guilfoy.
tapped forward. That soccer off the ground doesn't really go anywhere.
And
Free kick going Tanunda's way.
Young McDonald's been penalised for not getting rid of the ball. There's a long ball out to Martin. Martin, unfortunately, bundled off the ball.
3-on-1.
Martin's going to have to fight against the very experienced players
So
here.
it became 4-on-1, but he took the opposition head on. That's free kick going
Tyler.
the way of
who
Tyler.
I would have thought possibly ducked his head into that, but it's been protected. Goes long into the forward line, and Guilfoy takes a well-judged mark.
That's a well-weighted kick. Looking for Benny
Gers.
Schiller. Finds him. Good handball. Sorry, Gers it
Jack
was.
May. Jack May's messed that
Spilled
up.
something that he should have held.
Hazelden with clean hands. Dutchke at the bottom of the pack.
So we finally get some football in front of our commentary position late in the game.
The 20-minute mark.
So over 20 minutes played in the final quarter. Ball driven forward again for Freeling. That's Guilfoy was tackled.
Done.
He let go of the ball as he was tackled, so it's a free kick going the way of Jonathan Ross, I believe. He's got a chance to kick another goal. And this could be enough.
This would give him a Michelle
If he
Pfeiffer.
kicks this, I would say that it's just about game over.
A bit of breeze wobble in the post, but it shouldn't bother the big fella too much.
He's kicked from further out. And, oh, wow, he used that wind beautifully.
And the visiting crowd.
That had Terry Alderman swing about it. That was magnificent.
The big fella's kicked a neat 5 today as Freeling go ahead.
He has played a great coach's game.
9-4-58, plays Tanunda 4-9-33
on the Burge Barossa scoreboard.
That's correct.
As Freeling take this game by the throat.
They'll celebrate this hard back at the home digs, I should imagine.
Yes, they will. And Dom Shepley at the Freeling Hotel was going to have the game on. Wasn't able to come to the game today because he's working, but said he was going to have it on in the front bar. So hello
G'day,
to Dom.
How are you?
Love your work. I did stop in there to pick up some takeaway drinks yesterday.
I'll have to go over there with a bottle of red and have a chat with him
It
about
is
his schnitzels.
It is a great pub, and they have great schnitzels.
That's good to hear. Guilfoy spoils Ross. It's an under player there. He's just received a free kick for a high tackle. That'll be young Finn Manning.
Yes,
again,
Freeling
I believe.
Hotel is one of my favourite places to go for a meal in that light area just outside the Barossa.
Absolutely. Defensive fist out into the crowd. So we're seeing the last couple of minutes of this game. We're down to just on 23 minutes gone, and there won't be much time on, one would expect.
No, it shouldn't be a lot, but I would say that it's a moot point as Carmichael almost took that ball one-handed in the ruck, tapped it, then dropped it down to a teammate.
Dutchke again with a quick kick out. May has been very clever and just received a free kick for his troubles. And a 25-metre penalty for a bit of extra treatment. Plays on quickly, and a shocking kick off his knee, and a terrible bounce. Hamish Martin attacks the ball.
And
And has
slammed to
been
the ground.
slammed.
That's a dangerous tackle.
And that's actually started a little bit of a...
it has started a fracas, but the umpire got that right. We had the opposite
Absolutely.
angle from the umpire. It was a dangerous throwing tackle. That's good umpiring from Matthew Patterson. Well done. I'm sure every umpire will be in shock that we've said that.
That's not the best kick in the world, but they're going to pay it, and it's Porter.
Porter's
on
got
50.
The ball. I'm not sure lengthwise how he'll go. His father would have struggled from here.
Absolutely. Well, he's going to have to do
final
something.
siren goes. So
This is for pride only now.
Coming in, he's fairly close to the man on the mark. And it's kicked out off the outside of his ankle.
Yeah, Roos, but...
Minor score. That means the final score here at Tanunda will be Tanunda 9 goal 5 59. No, sorry. Tanunda 4 goal 10 34. They lose to Freeling 9-4 58. A big win for the Freeling Football Club in the context of their season, even though they're not going to make finals. Really great for them pride-wise. They will be happy. There'll be parties on in Freeling tonight.
Yes, mate, and I think it begs the questions of where Tanunda sees itself. You know, it's been a perennial finals contender, and run out a bit of steam there.
Unfortunately, they're undermanned this year, and finals aren't on the table, but they're putting great game time into some young players.
Indeed.
Ashton Seinert excites me as a player. Josh Hokeless is a great young player. Bailey Smith is a great defender. Thomas Hahn and Harry Porter are absolute gems. Then you've got Darcy Thompson. Brett Dowse is one of those mid-age young players. Trent Gers as a leader is fantastic. Sam Brooks has got plenty of experience. Jack May is a young player. You've got the likes of Finn Manning, Hamish Martin, Aaron Manning. Ariel Rothy was great at times today.
I think so.
There is so much upside in this Tanunda team. That's with the young ruckman in Falkenberg not playing.
Yeah.
If you're a Tanunda supporter, you've got a lot to be excited about in the next 5 to 10 years.
No, without a doubt. But let's focus on the victors today, who played an outstanding second half, to be honest.
Yes.
Broke the game open in the at the very start of the third quarter with 3 quick goals to
Jonathan Ross has to be mentioned for his 6 goals.
Without a doubt.
Trav Muster, ever reliable down back. I thought Koshel was magnificent in the ruck. He won the bulk of the ruck contest and around the ground took some big marks.
Yeah. You got Benny Heinrich chipped in with a couple. Scott Dusky again. And
a lot of the young players,
run off the back line. Killian.
The likes of Tyler Wesley was good. McDonald was good. Oliver was good. Matts was good.
Yeah.
And young Sam Daff at times. Every player from Freeling stood up when they had to.
Daff's job on Cahoon was game changing.
It was excellent.
Cahoon
couldn't breathe.
No.
He wouldn't have been able to scratch himself without Daff saying, hang on, let me do that for you.
Absolutely. Well, mate, it's been great to commentate with you.
Thank you for joining us.
And thank you to all the viewers out there.
And we look forward to seeing you all next week.
And thanks to Burge Barossa and Ray White,
Craig Moore
for their support, and the Barossa Light and Gawler. We've got Kookaburra, Sterling Holmes,
Belgravia Apparel, the Injury Hub,
West End Draft.
Yes.
Burge Barossa, and do yourselves a favour, be good to your mothers, and have a great
And if you're a
weekend.
Freeling supporter, drop into the Freeling Hotel and see Dom Shepley tonight. He'll look after you.
I'm sure he